Remember, progress comes from direct confrontation with your enemy. It don't have to be physical. It could be economic. It could be political. It could be social. It could be intellectual. But progress comes from direct confrontation with your enemy. If we are not directly threatening or challenging the system of white supremacy in some way, then we're not making progress. Power brings progress, not preaching. Great question. Who my number 3? King.
Dr. Umar, I appreciate you being in Baltimore.
Appreciate you, brother.
My question is, what do you think is the first step the black community in Baltimore City needs to do to get back on track? Is it rehab? Is it education? Or is it taking back the land, revitalizing our community ourselves? And my second question is, what are we to do about the identity crisis in the black community with us identifying not as African, as Native, as Moor, as Hebrew Israelite? What are we to do to be united even though we claim to be different?
Great question.
First question, all of them.
Yes, absolutely. We have to do all that. But what is the foundation of all that? Organizing. What we doing today? There's no radio on. There's no TV on. Hopefully, there's nobody on their social media. Hint, hint, right? And we're having a serious conversation about how we need to go forward. When is the last time y'all did this right here? Raise your hand if you did what we're doing right now. A serious conversation with like-minded African people in your city talking about what we need to do to go forward that is not being exploited for votes on election day or for donations at the church and the mosque. Raise your hand if you've been a part of this in the past month. No hands. What about the past 6 months? Maybe 2 hands. What about the past year? Maybe 3 hands. You see that? In a whole year, most of us have not been a part of a serious conversation about what direction to take black folks. You know why we losing? How often do you think the Chinese? Probably every week, if not every other day. How often do you think the European Jews do this? How often do you think the Arabs do this? How often do you think the Mexicans do it? And look at us. We do it once in the blue moon. There's no way you catch up to the groups who are out organizing you unless you organize better and faster. It's no way around it. Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture said it best. What's Stokely saying? If you organize sometimes, you get something done. If you organize a little, you get a little done. If you don't organize at all, you don't get nothing done. The problem we made in the post-Dr. King era, we traded in mass organization for individual leadership. Dr. King was the leader of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, but guess what? That was an organization, not a church. You see that? Huey P. Newton might have been the leader of the Black Panther Party, but that was an organization, not a church. We gave up mass mobilization for individual leadership. Owned by the white man, financed by the white man. That's why we can't get nowhere. We need to do more of this. We need to do more of this. You feel me? And I don't mind driving down from FDMG to do some more of this. You understand? So I'm gonna make sure I get the elder's number, okay? So we can do more of this, because this should be all over Black America.
Yeah.
This should be all over Black America at least once a month. But you know what the problem is? Somebody will come in here with a political agenda and start saying, okay, y'all, let's talk about the next election. Are y'all registered? Okay. But before we talk about who's registered, they're getting registered to vote for what? What's the substance for which they need to be registered? Well, if we don't vote for Joe Biden, Donald Trump gonna get it. It's the lesser of the two evils. I'm so tired of that shit.
Yeah.
Okay? A slave master is a slave master. Whether he got on a red outfit or blue, it's the same.
Yeah.
You see? So they want to turn it into politics. That's what happened with the George Floyd protest. The George Floyd protest was the most massive protest black people had since the Dr. King assassination protest in the long hot summer of 1967 protest, which was the year before. The George Floyd. Can somebody tell me what we got out of the George Floyd protest? What did black people get?
Conviction?
Not a damn thing. The Latinos got a bill from Trump. The Native Americans got something out. We got nothing. Guess what? The Asians got an anti-hate bill out of your protest. Out of your and you know why we didn't get nothing? I'm not even going to blame Joe Biden and Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. I'm blaming us because, first of all, we integrated the march. We said the march was not just for black people. Those words should never come out of your mouth. I'm going to tell you right now, Baltimore. I'm going to tell you right now. We make no progress if you're going to keep elevating other people's problems to the level of yours. Like I said earlier today at the Urban Reese bookstore with Sister Tia, the Palestinians are all in my inbox right now. I can't go into Instagram inbox with them not calling me a kafir or something worse. Because they feel that black people automatically got to support them like we still their slaves. You see that? So I'm letting the Palestinians know, listen, I want well for you, brother, but guess what? Your fight ain't my fight. Because my fight ain't never been your fight.
Right.
I'm staying focused on black people. Ain't nobody doing nothing for Haiti. I don't see no Palestinians for Haiti. I don't see no Palestinians for the Congolese. Hell, DJ Khaled not even saying nothing. I don't hear y'all talk about him, but you think Negro's supposed to just fight for you because you were Arab and you think you that special that we owe you our allegiance? No. Now, I'm not telling y'all can't support the Palestinians. I'm saying don't elevate somebody else's struggle to yours, y'all. We got to stop bringing other people in the conversation. George Floyd, all I kept hearing everybody in the microphone say, and we fight not just for black people, we fight for poor white, we fight for brown, we fight for Latino, we fight for LGBT2. Well, let me ask you a question. Who is in the most trouble in America? Who? So if you are in the most trouble, but every time you get a microphone in front of your face, you automatically bring somebody else's argument into your own. Are you not saying, I'm not as important as you think I am? These other people are as important, if not more. We have spoiled everybody into thinking they can always use us to push their political agenda. Remember, once upon a time, we had unity with the European Jews. Remember that? Blacks and Jews in the 1920s, 1930s. But ever since Jews had their upward mobility, you ain't seen Jews around no black folks at all. They used you and they stepped off. Latinos used you and they stepped off. LGBTs are still using you. And guess what? They going to step off. You are nothing but a political football until you learn to speak for yourself and by yourself. I have no problem walking into a room telling people I'm only here to talk for black folks. But we want to discuss the Latinos. I wish the Latinos well. I am not here to talk about Latinos. I am here to talk about black people. Because guess what? When the Latinos go to public school, they can't speak Spanish. Excuse me, they can't speak English. They get Spanish help. You understand me? You speak Spanish this and bilingual this. They got services for them. We're the services for my people. I am never arguing for another people above and beyond my own. If I can help a Latino kid, I'm going to help him. If I can help a little white kid, I'm going to help him. But before my own people, never that, son. When the spotlight is on black people's problems, we need to learn how to keep it there. And the reason why y'all have trouble doing that is your religious hypnosis. Most of us was raised in religions, myself included, where loving everybody was the essence of the religion. Every black church and mosque teaches love for everybody, and this makes you feel uncomfortable about being unapologetically African, unapologetically black. That's why I came up with unapologetically African, because I'm sick and tired of black people feeling like it's not right to be for yourself. You better learn how. And if you're that conflicted with your religion, where you can't put black people first, find another religion. I had to leave the masjid. I was raised Sunni Orthodox Islam, North Philadelphia, in the same mosque that the Nation of Islam used to own when Malcolm walked the streets of North Philadelphia. And then when Mr. Muhammad passed on, his son shut the nation down and the Sunni Orthodox Muslims took over that mosque. I was raised in that mosque. Walking in there, the mosque managed by Arabs, and the Arabs, you line up for salat, and they don't even want to touch your feet. And I'm looking at my father like, this damn Arab don't even want to touch me in the middle of a black ghetto. What is he doing? I was raised in that mosque, and I never one time saw a flyer or a meeting to discuss black people's problems. So you mean to tell me we left the church worshiping white people to go to the mosque to worship the Arab? I'm not doing that. I don't want nothing to do with no religion that doesn't prioritize black people. So I said, what that state trooper doing in here?
That's crazy.
With you, bro.
We say trooper is the same.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. That was my brother back there. That was the brother who I was answering. And then you asked about the identity crisis, right? And as far as the identity crisis, I'm going to go with what I said before. First of all, it's okay if we got different names. I always say that African people are so diverse. It's okay to have a bunch of names. Moor, Hebrew, Nuwapian. That ain't my issue, what we call ourselves. My issue is we try to disidentify from ourselves. You understand? That's my issue. You see, and the reason you got so much disidentification, brother, is nobody wants to be black because black people are losing. Once we start winning, everybody will claim African overnight. I promise you that. I promise you that, but we got to start winning. We have to give our children a reason to be proud. That's where we are right now.